Hi everyone, welcome to Value. So today Virgin Galactic has powered through that $30 mark to $31 and a 15% increase, and the biggest question is like why? Well, it is because of that successful flight. This share price has been trying to consolidate for a while now, so it didn't rise all at once that flight went well. It has slowly been rising, so it went from about that $21 zone, successful flight. Then it basically jumped up to that $25, $26 zone and has just been inching its way up to $30 ever since. And yeah, like it's a good trend move upwards, because you don't want to stop price to move too quickly, or else there tends to be a lot of profit takers, and it tends to get very volatile. But I think this is as good as you probably could ask it to go. Like if it increased all of a sudden all the way to 31 on the first day, then it could actually drop back a bit. But yeah, if we look at the whole share price, a month ago the stock actually, well, even couple of weeks ago, it got to in that $15 mark. So anyone holding for the last 2 weeks basically just doubled their money. So sometimes if you manage to buy at the lows, that's the best part. But of course it takes a lot of guts, because at the time there was a lot of pessimism. You had Richard Branson, Charmouth selling, you had Ark Invest also selling. So you had three people that a lot of retail investors would probably look to when it comes to investing, and they were selling. So it didn't put a lot of confidence behind the stock. But they were selling because of other reasons. But yeah, ever since that, the share price has gained a lot of confidence, especially this flight. So that's the thing. If a company performs, it doesn't matter what happens outside of the company. As long as they perform, the share price will eventually go to a good space. Though mind you, this share price was a lot higher previously, so it hasn't actually been in that $30 zone since probably around April. So yeah, it's kind of been a big roller coaster, and it's kind of come to the April situation. I expect that the $30 something zone, that it's just going to try to consolidate around this area. And then once there's more information that's going to be announced, then possibly it will head higher after that. But I think around the $30 zone tends to be an area where people will take profits, particularly anyone that's been buying in the last month that's less than $30. They've got some profits that they might want to take. But of course, we have to see how things go. I am aware there's a lot of shorting in the stock as well, so potentially if things continue to go up, it also causes a lot of pressure on the shorts that they do have to cover, and the only way they can cover is to buy, which means basically the share price will increase as well. So if we ever get a short squeeze, you can guarantee the share price is going to continue to increase. But for now, I think $31, I'm happy with this mark at the moment. I don't think it's going to go terribly higher for now until more flights are announced. But in saying that, the minute a flight is announced, there's going to be a lot more excitement and likely a higher share price. Will it reach this kind of high of about $60 that it did in the past? Well, it possibly could. Like, I think once Richard Branson flies, then it will reach around that mark. It would appear it could reach that mark anyway. Because I think there's enough enthusiasm for the stock to go that far if once Richard Branson flies, but that could be many months later. But for now, $31 is pretty good. And recently it also got a buy rating from Kenneth Herbert, who is from Canaccord, which seems to be their price target's about $35. So when an analyst gives a strong buy signal, then it kind of gives a lot of people confidence to start buying into the stock as well. And in terms of this guy's record, he has a really good record. Like on tip ranks, he's 77th out of over 7,500 analysts. So this guy usually is pretty good with what he in terms of the company he looks at. He's got a success rate of 71%, which is pretty great. Like As I say, if you can get more than half your picks right, you're pretty good. If you can get 60% right, you're great. But if you can get like 70 or over, you're legendary. And in that sense, this guy's actually pretty amazing at what he does. And to get 71% of your picks right, that's pretty great. Like, I don't know if you guys know how hard it is to get your picks right all the time. But in terms of 71%, it is pretty good. And he's put a $35 price tag on this company. But I think it's worth a lot higher, of course. So yeah, I think it possibly goes at 50-60 once Branson flies, and he's got a successful flight, and he's taking pictures, and he's talking about it, and there's a lot of buzz around the atmosphere. Then I think that's what really sends this stock price through the roof. But for now, I'm pretty happy. $31 is amazing. Particularly especially what we've been through. I mean, $31 a couple of months ago didn't seem that great because it had fallen from a very high price point of like $60, but it feels nice after going down to like $15 and then just coming back up to where we are now. So when we make that comparison, it's pretty nice to be at 31, and it's just showing some really good momentum in the stock as well. And the thing is, the momentum's not going to stop because as long as there's no bad news, the momentum continues. And there's not likely any bad news because they've done a successful flight. And I think that was the whole thing that was holding the stock back for a long, long time. That they couldn't fly. There was a bit of doubt on their technology, whether it actually worked or not, because like they really hadn't been flying, and no shareholder had the confidence. But now that they've flown once, they can fly again. And shareholder confidence is going to be extremely strong. So yeah, look at this stock price, and 15% up. Possibly, it will just stay around this range. It might go a little higher in the next few weeks, but until they announce a flight or some other good news, then it's probably going to consolidate in this range, which is always great. Like, you can't expect the increase to come all at once. So yeah, I think we're in a good space. If you've got any comments or questions, post below. Until then, good luck investing, everyone.